I'm standing in our son's bedroom and I have a special project planned for today. So the room is coming together nicely. We have a few more pieces on the way, a little shelf for him, some cool accessories for his room. But this wall is missing something. In our daughter's bedroom, on the same wall, we hung this mirror and it's beautiful and it really adds a lot to the room. So I thought, why not add a mirror to our son's room as well? It'll help reflect some light, make the room feel a little bit bigger, and just be a little more interesting. And I think that we found another good thrift store find for our son's room. Check this out. So I saw this sitting at the thrift store. It's in rough shape, but I thought it had the right features to be a really cool mirror for our son's bedroom. This is literally the way we found it. With blue painter's tape still around the glass, a really poor paint job, but I think we can redo this, clean it up, do a couple of minor modifications, and it's going to look really cool. I liked how structural it was and how kind of masculine it felt to me. It just felt like a castle, so I like it. And also, I'm going to show you these top things right here. It has some nice little corner blocks. These mimic our son's bed frame, his headboard, very well. So I think it's going to blend in like it belongs in that room. What I think happened was somebody had this old mirror and they tried painting it black, but the paint job kind of came out sloppy, so they gave up on it, sent it to the thrift store, and didn't even bother peeling the tape off. Let's bring it outside, get it cleaned up, see what we can do with it. You can see some of the design. I think this part is pretty interesting. You can see that the paint job is not perfect. Definitely some brush strokes in here. The back side, we can see that it is a wood mirror, which is good. Looks like pine. Nothing special. Yep, look at it, pine. And judging by this hardboard backing, it's not extremely old. Not an antique or anything. Because this is going to need a lot of work, I think we're going to go ahead and pull the glass out. Now I don't care about this backing. This old paper board, we're going to replace it with something better. This design, I like it, but it's going to be really hard to sand that off because, you know, they have paint globbed all around the edges and in these circles and everything. I'm going to see and hope that they didn't glue it down and that it's only nailed down. I'm going to see if I can pry that off so that I can sand the wood underneath without all the design in the way. This is temporary. Let's see if we can pry those off. There was a little bit of glue back there, but we got it off. Well, let me pull these bride nails out so that we can sand this down. Guys, let's cut this off. I think this mirror is going to look a lot nicer if we make it a lot more structured, get rid of all this fancy decoration, and cut it straight like this so that these pillars can stick up. This is just something I'm not a fan of, this kind of, I don't know, French something. It's just not my style. So, let's flip this over. Now, I think I'm going to take this bottom piece off. This mirror used to go on a dresser, it looks like. So it has a kind of flat base on it, but since we're going to use it as a wall mirror, I want to take this off. So let me consider that. For now, we have a nice frame that we can sand down easily. So let me tell you, we've been working on this frame for a little while, getting it all sanded down, and it's coming out more beautiful than I expected. There was some nice wood hiding under there. I think we're done with the frame for now. We're not worried about every minor speck. Now we're going to try to do those decorative pieces. Well guys, we're getting ready for the finishing work, but there's one more problem that we discovered. This is kind of odd, but check out the decoration over here. Little cap piece, you can see has a routed edge right here. Now this side, you notice it's missing the cove on the top. It has the bottom one. the cove is actually on the back side of the top. So what it looks like somebody did was coved this side and then coved this side. So no matter which way you turned it, one of them would have been wrong. So that was a defect from the factory or wherever this was made. Somebody just grooved the wrong side of it, but now it looks kind of silly. So I'm going to try to recreate a new cove on the front to fix it. Basically just have a little cove bit, and we're going to space it out with a piece of board. Let's see how this works.
Flush with it, or
just down a little
down
bit?
A little?
Yeah, just below where the cove is, because I got to run that bearing along it. And I'm going to be pushing on it to hold it pretty tight to where I want it. Guys, I kind of messed up the edge there, but we got our cove. And it more or less matches this side. That wasn't hard at all. I'm scared because we just spent all that time sanding this down. We going for it?
Definitely. Look at it, it's beautiful already.
Truthfully, we were going to spray paint this mirror a dark, like a deep red. We thought red would look really cool in his room. But we gave him the option, and this is what he chose. And this is going to look really good too, because it'll match all his woodwork. He really likes this color. Let me just hit the bottom, even though it's really not pretty.
It's not too bad, actually. Looks fine, right?
Yeah. Well, this is looking nice.
Mm-hmm. Regal.
The sun is starting to creep into the back porch here, and our mirror frame is dry, so I'm going to go ahead and get this assembled so that we can move it out of the sun and finish it someplace else. I would love to get it back exactly the way they had it. There we go. Let's get this new trim piece put in right here. On the top of it, we decided to just make a little cap piece that we could put in here. And I think this is going to look really sharp. Cool. Yeah, it looks good. Well guys, this mirror is looking really good. This morning, I got the first coat of shellac on here and it's dry. Now I'm going to be taking some hole filler and I'm going to be filling all these little brad nail holes before I move on to the next step. Normally, I would probably wait until the end, but this time I'm going to do it right now so I can shellac all these in. So now that we have all the holes filled, I'm just going to rub off the excess. Now I'm going to take a scrubby pad and just buff off all the bumps. Get ready for the second coat. While this is setting up and getting hard, I'm going to leave it for a little while. We're going to work on cleaning the mirror glass off. We finally finished the mirror project and it looks great. So let me tell you the truth of what happened. Honestly, it was going good until I got a little impatient and decided to lay it down on the floor to start nailing the backing in place. And what happened was the shellac was too fresh, I didn't give it a long enough cure time, and when I lifted it up, I had ruined the finish. Because not only did a whole bunch of carpet fiber stick to the shellac, but it left imprints of the texture of the rug in the finish. So I basically had to pull out the sander, sand it down, smooth it out, and it just took me a couple of sanding sessions and refinishing to get it good again. So all that happened off camera. You guys don't need to see it, but my mistake.
Yeah.
Now when I nailed the backing on, I left a gap in the middle, and I'm going to show you guys why. In our son's bedroom, we have a two-tone paint finish, and we have a trim board separating them. And my concern was, how am I going to hang this mirror over that trim piece? Because obviously it's going to push the mirror out and it's going to be an awkward situation. That's why I left that gap in the backing of the mirror. I decided that that's another 1/4 inch of space that I can get the mirror closer to the wall and fit over the trim. Whereas if it was a full piece, it would be bumping the mirror out even further. So with that little section removed, I was able to hang it on the wall almost flat. It still pushes on that trim and it sticks out a little more at the bottom, but it's not noticeable.
Yeah, it helped a lot though.
So that's the reason I left a gap in the middle, because I knew where I wanted the mirror to hang, I knew the trim was there, and that's kind of just me trying to work around the trim without having to remove the trim. I did consider cutting it out and like kind of permanently mounting the mirror. I can't do that.
No.
Now the mirror is a little bit close to the heater. I would prefer it further away, but the heater is a very low wattage, low heat heater. So I'm not concerned about any damage to the mirror or fire hazards.
No.
It's very safe. The reason we kept it low is because, you know, Maverick is a little guy and we want him to look in it and be able to use it. So we put it about as low as we could.
It's a good height for me. I don't know. I don't think it's too bad.
If it was me, I would have done like another 3 inches higher, maybe. A little bit. But overall, in the end, despite the problems,
came out phenomenal. Looks a million times better than how we bought it.
So this mirror cost us $10. It wasn't too bad, but it was overpriced for what it was. A junky, sloppily painted, cheap mirror. But for $10, when you look at it now, you know it was a great deal.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta look at the finished product. I think chopping the top was the right thing to do. Sometimes those kind of decorative cutouts on furniture can make them look dated or kind of cheapish, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And by making it clean, it fits our theme, it fits the room, and it honestly matches his bed really well. You can see his headboard. It has these kind of pillars on the side with the pieces that stick up.
The same design.
And this mirror blends into that. It looks so good. And we couldn't have planned that.
No.
And we found the perfect mirror to do that with.
At the same thrift store that we bought Belle's cool mirror at.
Yeah, I showed that at the beginning.
Oh.
I think, yeah. So our daughter's mirror came from the same store, and you guys know that turned out beautiful too. And that one was also black.
Mm-hmm.
What's with black mirrors? That's weird. So I think that's all we have for now. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the project. And until next time, take care.
See ya.